Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the for mid-May 2025. You have this elephant spirit says learn from the past. You also have this bee spirit says sweet results await. So there could be some good results coming in for you at this time, which would I think Leo needs for sure. It feels like something you need. It feels like something that will motivate you. Especially if things have been slow or things haven't really been going anywhere in your life. I feel you kind of need a little bit of a win or something to motivate you, and that's really the feeling that I get off of those first two cards. You have the Knight of Cups, the Hermit, and the Judgment card. Knight of Cups in Emperor definitely could be like a knight in shining armor, or you could be attracting an Emperor person into your life. Not really a love reading yet. That could change in a minute. But what I would say here is you could be attracting a person. The Knight of Cups, like I said, Knight in Shining Armor, it can also represent your dream. So with the Knight of Cups, we have to kind of like start working on our dream because he is standing in the desert, but he has this water flowing in front of him. If he were to plant seeds in front of that water, they would grow. And he is very dreamy. But this is, I've been saying for months that, the Knight of Cups is really the card. The Knight of Cups and like the Three of Wands are, I would say that is the energy that we are all in. We are, and also the Knight of Pentacles as well. So like three cards kind of really represent the energy to me as a collective, right? And so the energy we're in is that we all probably have some sort of dream, or we at least can kind of imagine what our dream life would look like, but there are also definitely a lot of challenges to getting to that place. And also resources is an issue, is really what I wanted to say. And so we have to do things without the resource necessary to do them. And, that's really kind of like the trick right now. Neptune will be going back into Pisces one more time. And Neptune in Pisces is like the big impossible dream. So we all have like kind of one more shot to plant at least the first seed. And the thing is that we can start very, very small. We don't have to invest a ton of energy into our dream. We can just, as long as we do something to cement that dream in reality, that is enough. You have the Hermit. You always get the Hermit with me here, Leo. I feel like there's something that needs to come out, with you. I used to say to Leo that it's almost like Leo is becoming the teacher, right? I used to say this in all your readings. And, the Hermit, he teaches by shining his inner light. So he's not teaching by sitting people down and being like, you need to do this. He is teaching by being an example. And I really feel it is time for you to be kind of like an example here, Leo. Or, you have the Sun, which is your card, but the Sun is all about getting attention and shining your light and standing out. So I feel it is time for you to kind of like shine your inner light and get attention on yourself or on what makes you special. And I would be putting those things out into the world. And I would be speaking up more, taking bigger chances, using your resources to build what you're trying to build. The Hermit, sometimes I think we get stuck. He's gone through a dark night of the soul and he is stuck in isolation. But we have to pull ourselves out of isolation with the Hermit. You have the Judgment card. Judgment can be like a wake-up call or some sort of rebirth. These people are being called up out of these coffins by their higher self. And so I kind of do feel a little bit of a wake-up call type of energy off of this reading. It's kind of like saying to me the universe is calling you to step into your new life. So I think it is time to get started or time to get moving on whatever it is that you are thinking about creating or doing. And that's it. That's all I got. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like time to make a decision. You and Aquarius, your opposite sign, right? You two always get these cards of needing to kind of like make a decision, make a choice. The Two of Pentacles is juggling and spinning plates. Sometimes I think the Two of Pentacles is doing things to be purposely busy so that you can ignore making a decision. But, I don't know. I kind of feel like this is saying something's getting harder to ignore. Sometimes I feel that's what the Two of Pentacles represents. We have these waves behind him on this card. They start off very small, and then they get bigger and bigger as they move across the card. So sometimes I feel the Two of Pentacles is like a choice that you have to make, that you've been thinking about making, that is getting harder and harder and harder to ignore. So, there you go. With the Hermit, you have the Five of Pentacles. Not feeling good enough. I feel like Leo definitely could have this feeling. I'm pretty sure that in some of your past readings, you've gotten cards with me that say you are good enough, right? So I feel that you need to believe that you're good enough. I feel like you need to not call attention to all the reasons why you can't do something. That's the trick with the Five of Pentacles. These people are calling attention to their weaknesses, but the solution to the Five of Pentacles is to make sure that you focus on your strengths. The other thing is that we have this right here is actually an anchor in the window of this church behind these people. And so the Five of Pentacles, kind of represents poverty or poverty consciousness. It can say that you are allowing money to get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. And yeah, sure, maybe you do need money to do something. But again, with the Knight of Cups, what is the smallest step you can take to create a reality for yourself? Or what is like the smallest thing you can do to make something happen? And that's really what I would be focusing on here with the Five of Pentacles, is like taking that small step so that you can have something great, whether you have the money or not. And, again, yeah, maybe the smallest thing you can do is like research something that you're into, but that's what I would be doing there. With the Judgment card, you have the Judgment card. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So it's definitely time to kind of like answer the call of the universe and to step into the light, or something. I kind of feel like you are stepping into the light with the Sun card showing up at the end, or it's like you could be doing something that is going to bring you more joy and happiness. So I would definitely be moving in the direction of things that bring you joy, happiness, light, all that other stuff. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Wolf card. It says, beware of who you trust. So this is a long-term theme for Leo. I think Leos have had a difficult time dealing with certain people in their lives, and finding out that you can't trust people, or finding out that you should have trusted someone. So I would pay attention to your intuitive feelings about people in general. You have this Moon card. Can't make this one up. It says, you will be guided through darkness. Sun. Right? We have this full moon tomorrow. I'm doing this video on May 11th. On May 12th, we have full moon in Scorpio. It's a little dark, for sure. And so I think, in the middle of the month here, that a lot of people could be starting off in a place of darkness, or not being sure what steps to take. But obviously, you are being guided at this time. You have the Emperor, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. The Emperor could be you attracting an Emperor. Not really a love reading yet. That could change in a minute, like I said, but, you could be. The Emperor, though, I feel is asking you, like, what would you do if you were 1,000 times bolder? If you were 1,000 times braver in life, and in those moments where you don't do something because you're scared, it's like, what would that look like? And I feel like the Emperor is asking you to do that. I think the Emperor is saying, what would you do if you were 1,000 times more bold, or 1,000 times more confident? How would that person act? And I don't know. I kind of feel like thinking about it could be the thing that really motivates you to be more successful, or puts you in a more successful position. And so I would start doing that. I would start taking those bold actions as well. Definitely popping into my head with the Emperor. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it? He's looking at those Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is it worth it to be doing what I've been doing? Or is there a change that I could make to improve my situation? And I don't know. Only you can answer that question, Leo. Only you can be the one that makes that decision. And so I would be looking at everything you're working on, creating, and doing. And I would be saying to myself, if I were you, like, am I strong enough? Am I bold enough? Can I do this? And, or is what I'm doing right now, is it giving me the life I desire? Or is there some sort of risk I should take, right? We go up to the Five of Swords. You always get the Five of Swords with me, Leo, every single reading. And the Five of Swords, yeah, sure, it can represent separation, or walking away from something, or winning at all cost. But, really it is a card of taking a risk. You have the Three of Swords. Yeah, definitely with this full moon, I think that forgiveness would be a great energy to work with. Forgiving the past, forgiving people who've done you dirty, or forgiving people who hurt you, or anything. And I'm not just talking about love here. I'm talking about, every single area of your life. And the Three of Swords is really a card of practicing forgiveness. Those swords are in your own heart. And so, again, even if you're watching this after the full moon, it doesn't matter. You still have time to, forgive, or maybe you need to do some sort of forgiveness ritual, or maybe you just need to say it in your head, I forgive this person, whatever. But I think healing through those things would really be a good thing for you, especially with the full moon, because literally that's what this full moon is about. With the Emperor, you have the Four of Cups. It's like the feeling that you're never going to have something. I feel like I've said this to you again recently, Leo. The Four of Cups, he has tried to manifest something multiple times, and now he's being offered something again, but he's not accepting it because he's been disappointed 3 times before. But what he needs to know is that he needs to apply the lessons he learned from these past disappointments to this new situation, and he will have a much better outcome. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you could be fearing disappointment or fearing that something is going to be a disappointment, but really it isn't if you kind of like make your move, if you do what you have to do here. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about getting started. Again, Knight of Pentacles is the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move, right? He's the only one where the horse is standing still. He has these empty fields behind him, so it's like there's unlimited potential behind him if he would get started on something that he knows he should start. He also knows everything he needs to know. He has these oak leaves on his helmet, and oak leaves in the tarot represent knowledge and wisdom. He knows more than enough to be very successful at what he is working on. And so I feel like you need to, like, don't discount your knowledge is kind of what this card is saying to me. And, start planting those seeds here. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is planting seeds in a new direction. You can't make this stuff up, Leo. Your reading is flowing very nicely, actually. But I always say Six of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds. It's my card of seeing what grows, seeing what doesn't, doubling down on the stuff that grows, and then keep going. So it's literally my card of taking the first step, which we said with the 2 knights that are showing up here, and even the Seven of Pentacles could say that as well. So it's time for you to take a step. I think you are taking a step towards the Sun. The Sun is your card, Leo, but the Sun is something that is capturing your attention. The Sun is like a spotlight. And so it can simply say that your attention is being drawn to something in life. You have this almost, magnetic pull to do something or to, take an action or to create something in your life. It's going to be different for all of you. But I think, look, we have the Eight of Wands, which literally says if you take that first step, that it will move quickly. So the Knight of Pentacles can sometimes say that you've been holding yourself back for a very long period of time, but by taking action, you're actually going to move forward much quicker, and that's what I would do with that card. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Lighthouse card. It says, you're a light, sun, that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. Five of Pentacles, don't dim your light. You have this Entanglement card. It says, if you realize that you're in an entanglement, it may be time to move on or take a break. Yes. If you are in some sort of weird entanglement, definitely would move on. Plain and simple, Five of Swords, right? It would be kind of cutting something out. So that's definitely something that's popping into my head. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Eight of Wands. Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about walking away from something, or cutting something out. And like I said, this full moon in Scorpio is asking everyone to remove things that no longer serve them. And it might be uncomfortable in some situations, or, might just be a truth that you're admitting to yourself, a deep down inside truth. Like maybe you're finally realizing that your job isn't cutting it any longer and you have to find something else, something else. Now, again, I wouldn't just quit a job right now. I would make sure that you go and get something lined up. And again, there's no rush. It's not like you have to do this today. So again, don't just quit something. Make sure you have something lined up, especially if it's work. Same thing with if you have a business. It's like maybe you're deciding that your business is moving in the right direction. It's like, well, maintain the level of success you have right now and start building in a new direction and get that going before you quit, right? And so don't just quit. But at the same time, the Five of Swords is saying you're making the decision. You are making the decision to change with the Death card. The Death card is a card of transformation, rebirth as well. The Death card is kind of interesting. We have this child right here, and the child is the only person that isn't afraid of the Death Rider. The child is holding up some flowers to this Death Rider here. And so children really like change. A lot of children are excited by new ideas and new things. So that's really standing out to me here with the Death card for you, Leo. It's like saying you need to be excited by change. You should be excited by, the new opportunities or the new environments that you could be entering into. And I feel like the more excited you are, the better things will go. The other thing about this card is that he has this white rose on his banner here, and that white rose on the banner kind of represents the light at the end of the tunnel. So a lot of you could finally be getting to the end of a difficult journey, or you could finally be seeing like the light at the end of the tunnel in something, and I feel that would be very good. We also have this Pope guy right here. He looks like a Pope, and he kind of is begging for his life. But, the Pope on the death card, sorry, dropped it. The Pope on the death card can represent like holding on to like certain beliefs that are holding you back. And so I think, and I think this is very true for Leo right now, that there could be certain beliefs or certain belief systems that are kind of preventing forward movement. So don't be afraid to like release those things that are really holding you back. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or quick conclusion. I love the Eight of Wands. I think it's a very good card. It can say that you are moving in a direction that is going to make you very successful. So I feel that there could be a lot of success here. Eight of Wands is about picking a direction and just, that's it. All those wands are pointing in one direction. So you have to pick one direction, and that needs to be your one focus, right? So I would make something your focus here with the Eight of Wands, and something like picking one thing that you want to accomplish like this summer, right? I would pick one accomplishment or one thing that you feel would be an accomplishment, like get it done. And all your activities should be pointing in that one direction. So that's what I would focus on there. I also do get something about socializing here, Leo. I think it would be a good time to kind of socialize more, have more fun, surround yourself with good people. With the Five of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. I don't think you realize how something is holding you back as well. So it's like some of you, it's your job or something like that could really be keeping you stuck. The Eight of Swords is about trusting your intuition. She has this blindfold on, and basically she needs to trust her intuition. And so I think that that's what you need to do here with this card, is you need to trust your intuition or trust your inner light or whatever you want to call it. So, that's definitely the feeling I get on that Eight of Swords. It's a card of self-imposed restriction, but she has that. Where I was going with that is that the blindfold on her kind of represents her needing to trust her inner voice or her intuition or what her intuition is telling her to do. Can't make this one up. With the Death card, you have the Hierophant. He looks like a pope, right? He might as well be a pope. I kind of feel like there are certain beliefs or certain belief systems that you could be letting go of or changing because maybe they just no longer serve you, or it's like, I don't really have a good example for you, Leo, but it's like, the world changes over time. And it's like sometimes like we think that the world should work a certain way, but it doesn't. And we just have to get over it. I feel like I've said this to you before as well, where it's like, I come from a family of Leos. Like literally everybody in my family is a Leo except for me. I was a fish born with a bunch of lions, a bunch of cats, right? Not good. So, it's like I like a lot of my family members that are Leos. It's like they say things to me like things should be this way, but they're not. And I always say that to them, right? I'm always like, yeah, but they're not. Things are not that way. That's not how the world works. So, sometimes I feel the Hierophant with the Death card is like about admitting that it's like, yeah, you can think, that, the world should be a certain way, but it isn't. And so sometimes you have to play by different rules. And I think the Hierophant is kind of encouraging you to do that. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. If you do want love, you go Knight of Cups down to this Page of Pentacles. This could be communication between you and a new person. It could be an Earth sign. You've been getting Earth with me like crazy, so wouldn't really surprise me. Could be a person with Earth in their chart or something as well, but definitely could be communication. The Page of Pentacles can also just be good news. So if you've been waiting for news or good news on something, could just be good news. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Watch for Signs card and this Law of Attraction card. So you could be getting a lot of sign symbols, synchronicities. I mean, the Sun is your first card. The Sun literally says you need to pay attention to your attention. So you need to pay attention to sign symbols, synchronicities. I think you have attracted something with that Law of Attraction card, but it's almost like you're doubting it, Leo, or you're like doubting if it's true or something like that. I don't know. It's like sometimes I think we ask for something, then we kind of like get the open door from the universe, and then we don't walk through it. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Now it's coming up in the good stuff. So, you could be walking through that door, but I kind of get this feeling that it's like you're on one side of the door, what you want is on the other side, and the universe is like saying, like, are you going to walk through this door or not? And, I'm giving you what you want, so walk through the door, right? Plain and simple. You have the Sun, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. The Sun is the best card in the deck. It kind of makes the whole entire reading a little bit more positive. The sun is your card, Leo, so whenever you show up as yourself in a reading, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. I think the sun is also our attention. So whatever your attention is being drawn to is what you should be paying attention to this month. So if something is capturing your attention or something is standing out to you, that is what I would move towards with this sun energy. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can represent being stabbed in the back, but the Ten of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. Ten of Swords and the good stuff can be a blessing in disguise. So some of you could be seeing, or this month you could finally be realizing how something that didn't work out for you in the past is actually a blessing and is probably leading you to something much better. This is very much full moon in Scorpio energy. I think that a lot of people could be kind of letting things go at this time or releasing things and then realizing later that it was actually a blessing that you did let go of whatever it is that you're letting go of. He's making the same symbol the Hierophant is making right here, and it just represents a blessing. You have the Six of Pentacles, time to start or time to get started. I mean, Six of Pentacles is planting seeds, and when you start planting seeds, you will get a result, and that's really what this card is saying. The whole entire reading is really saying this. You have the Six of Pentacles twice, and it's showing up in the good stuff, so that's what I would do here. I do feel a little bit of fairness here as well. Like, you could feel like the universe is being more fair, or you could be feeling that things are going more your way. So again, just in general, as a general energy, I feel like that's pretty positive. With the sun, you have the Emperor. Yes, like, you're going to have to take control of this direction with the sun. The Emperor is kind of a card of taking control and taking the lead. So I think it would be an amazing time. And sorry, something just popped up here. This is a card of taking the lead on something, and I would take the lead on the sun. This could also be you attracting, a soulmate or a person into your life if that's what you're into. So could be attracting a new person. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Star. Love it. I love the sun and the star together, especially if they're touching like this. The sun and the star is like fame and fortune, and it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to become famous, but it is definitely amazing for getting attention. So if you want love, I would go get attention. If you want a raise or a promotion, I would make sure that you are getting positive attention at work, because that is probably the thing that will make you more successful. The star can also say that you are like finally healing, and we have the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords in this reading. A lot of you, and I think we kind of said this at the beginning of the reading, that a lot of you could finally be healing from a difficult period of time. It's kind of giving me like fortune after difficulty vibes. The Ten of Cups is really my card of fortune after difficulty, but again, I kind of get that feeling on this card. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands in the good stuff would say you're finally getting to the end of a long journey. He is about to reach his home here on this card. And the story of the Ten of Wands is that he planted these 10 wands. Those 10 wands are his harvest, and he is about to reach his home in the background here. So I feel a lot of you are probably a lot closer to achieving a goal than you think. So I definitely wouldn't give up now. In the good stuff, it would say that you are not giving up, that you are probably, kind of close to the end of a long journey. So that's amazing. Let's see here, Leo. You have the health card. Yeah, it's a good time to watch your health, like between now and September. I think everyone should watch their health at this time. We have that eclipse in Virgo, and I don't know, just a little bit weird to me, the energy around that eclipse in Virgo. This card is the sun in Virgo, so I don't think we should be paranoid about this or anything. I just think we should pay attention and stay healthy, right? It's just that simple. You have this defense card. This card is about putting up boundaries and kind of protecting yourself. I think it is a great time for boundaries with other people. I said something earlier about, this wolf card. It says, beware of who you trust. I think Leo has learned who they can and can't trust. So, again, trust your intuition when it comes to that. You have this vision card, Eight of Wands. With the Eight of Wands, we have to, in the star as well, the star says we have to have a North Star. We have to have one thing that we pick to accomplish, and then we need to accomplish it. So again, this card says your vision must be clear. Your vision must be focused on one thing. And if you do that, you will be very successful. Again, if I were a Leo, I would just be picking one thing to accomplish this month or this summer between now and September, and I would just make it happen. You have this empathy card. It's like, I don't know. I get a weird feeling here, Leo. I'm not going to like lie or anything. It's like I feel like you're touch starved or something like that is what's popping into my head. It does say empathy. It's like, this child is petting this dog. I feel like you need someone to pet you. Or something. I don't know. It's giving me a weird message, but it's definitely like maybe you're craving touch from like a person or something. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. Weird message, but there you go. Sure, we'll take it. You have 2 cards. You have this practicality and this organization card. Yes, we are definitely in a time where we should be keeping it simple. So anything you're doing, take the simple path and things will be simple for you. But this is a pretty interesting reading here, Leo. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.